There's a World War II US Army cargo ship torpedoed in 1942 now lying completely underwater in Bali, and in this video I am going to dive inside it. And weirdly, it reminded me of Titanic because obviously who doesn't remember Titanic? But this dive didn't go as expected. There was something I found later that changed everything. Also, if you're planning trip to Bali anytime soon, I have already made a few videos that will help you. Check them out, and if you have any questions, just drop a comment. I reply to everything. This is a video about my dive experience in Tulamben with a full review of dive center and something I realized later that raises a lot of credibility question. I was staying in Ubud and I decided to go diving in Tulamben with Tulamben Dive and Snorkeling. This dive was special because I was going with my sister and brother-in-law, and both of them have never dived. My sister doesn't even know how to swim. We went in the month of April and we planned 2 dive sites, Coral Garden and USAT Liberty shipwreck. Also, this was my first shipwreck dive. Tulamben is on the northeast coast of Bali, around 100 km from Ubud, 2.5 hours each way. We reached the dive center early in the morning. There was a basic induction training for my sister and brother-in-law. I was also part of it. After that, they did a pool training session, lasted about 30 minutes. Basic skill set are taught underwater. Post-training, we had breakfast, banana pancakes, iced tea, Balinese coffee. The place felt like a proper dive center with stays and a dedicated kitchen. Fast forward to our first dive. It was a short 5-minute dive to the first dive site. Our first dive site was Coral Garden. It's a species-rich shallow dive site, perfect for beginners with colorful corals, marine life, and usually great visibility. And this time also the visibility was really great. Next to no current or surges. But my sister couldn't get comfortable and came out early. Happens with a lot of first timers. It's difficult for you to understand how to breathe just from your mouth. Amit, my brother-in-law, also came out because of a mask issue. But after fixing it, he went back in and completed his dive. I was very happy with that thing. After this dive, we went to the second dive location with USAT Liberty shipwreck. We tried to convince my sister a lot to get into the water, but she couldn't get the courage. I'll tell you later what happened. For this one, I was really excited. A World War II cargo ship which was torpedoed by Japan in 1942. It was parked here, but due to a volcanic eruption in Bali, it was later pushed into the ocean and now just lying offshore for last 60 years. And we started going into the water. This time the water was a little murky and visibility was quite lower. The moment I saw the shipwreck, it felt unreal, massive, silent and overwhelming. It was not a small ship by any measure. It was 120 to 130 meter long. That is lying almost 30 meters under the water. I even went inside the wreck and the feeling was just next level. It gave me a mix of feel of Titanic, that is sunken, that I saw in a lot of National Geographic and Discovery Channel videos, and also Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, the Davy Jones ship, Black Pearl. It looked a lot like that inside. It was extremely crowded. I saw at least 100 divers roaming around. There was a diver above me, there was a diver below me, there were divers everywhere. As I mentioned again, my sister was too scared to go again. We pushed her a bit, motivated her, and she finally went in the water. And honestly, that's more than enough for a first timer. Not everybody is comfortable with water, and that's completely fine. I, even after diving at so many places, still am scared with the water that gets filled inside the mask. That's one of the toughest skill. I still am scared to do it. Now let's talk about the cost. We paid around 3.6 million Indonesian rupiah for 3 people, which is around 1.2 million per person for the 2 dives and a 100-kilometer pick and 100-kilometer drop from our location. And as I mentioned, this included pickup, drop, and breakfast and pool training. It was the cheapest dive compared to all the locations I have dived in Bali. Now here's the twist. After coming back, I started checking few things. The dive center mentioned PADI everywhere on the website, also on the chat that I had, but I couldn't find them listed on official PADI website. They also didn't issue the DSD certificate to my brother-in-law. Later, I found out that they're actually SSI center. So overall, there were some clear credibility gaps. I always recommend pick a 5-star PADI dive center because safety is first. That's the only thing that stands between you and those crazy moments inside the water. If I talk only about the experience, the dive itself was really good. Instructor were nice, place was clean, food was great, overall day was smooth. But because of these gaps, I would rate it 3 out of 5. You can definitely explore better operators in Tulamben, but the dive site themselves, 100% worth it. And like I said, I have put a lot of videos around Bali. You can just check them out. I'll put the playlist here. And thank you for watching with this one.